3, 2, 1.
What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the Vol Talk podcast. Here we are in the midweek episode where we are going to preview the upcoming game this Saturday against Kent State football. Let me get a check here real quick. Stan, the Kent State Golden Hawks, is there?
Golden Flashes, brother.
Golden Flashes. Golden Flashes.
Whatever that
so we are
is.
previewing whatever that is. But hey, real quick, y'all, we want to start out by saying thanks if you have been listening or been checking out our episodes. We're still very early on in our production of Vol Talk. So the production quality is not where we want it to be eventually, but we're going to get there. We just wanted to get it kicked off this season because this is going to be a great volunteer football season. So we wanted to go ahead and get it kicked off. So thank y'all if you're listening. As you can see, we're doing the video call right now. Normally, we will be in person. In fact, we'll be in that room that Austin's sitting in right now.
Very hot room.
Yeah, it's a small hot room, but that's where we will typically be recording. That's Austin. I'm Blake. And so again, thanks for joining us, y'all. If you would please do us a favor and go ahead and subscribe, and best yet, drop us a comment down below. Especially just let us know what your thoughts are on what we can do better, and or just join the conversation. Let us know what you think about whatever the topic is. So today topic is the preview for Kent State. There's probably not going to be a ton to say, but if you got something to say about Kent State, drop it down in the comments. So we appreciate
And if one of the things we can get better at is looking better, we can't do that.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. At least not for Austin.
Yeah, we're working with what we got, brother.
Yeah, it's you got to take it or leave it.
Exactly. That's what it is, man.
Can the analysis get better? Probably. Can the production quality get better? Sure. The audio, sure. Video, sure. Can the way we look get better? No, never will.
Sorry.
In fact, we're probably going to look, we're always going to look as crappy as we do now, similar to how Kent State football has been looking pretty crappy, bro.
Yeah, so, not a good start to the season for the Golden Flashes.
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna jump into that, y'all. We'll kind of preview the game. I think Austin will give us some info about money lines, and we'll talk about what we want to see through the game and stuff like that. But I want to start, bro, as we're talking about old Kent State football, the preview against Kent State here. First of all, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. I hope there's not much for us to talk about. I hope that even more so than Chattanooga. I hope, as we talked about with Chattanooga, I hope this is an easy breezy Saturday for us, right?
Yep.
But
no injuries, just a clean football game.
No injuries. Honestly, I don't even should we consider starting the second stringers?
Against poor Kent State, who just lost to St. Francis, maybe.
Yeah, so we're about to talk about that. Kent State has unfortunately started their season 0-2, but the reason I say unfortunately is because I do want to give a shout out to a good buddy of mine, former employee of mine at the University of Tennessee. His name is Michael. Michael.
Shout out, Michael.
Mike. He is an alumni, or I guess alumnus, whatever the singular is, he's an alum of Kent State, and he loves his Golden Flashes. He actually started a fraternity.
He loves his Golden Flashes.
He's a big he loves Kent State, man. He's an alum. He's got to. Okay. So shout out to Michael. But unfortunately, Michael, I think your Kent State Golden Flashes are going to get absolutely drubbed, and really I wouldn't mind that, but not because of Michael, but actually because there's another alum, if I'm not mistaken, of Kent State that I would love to do dirty.
Yeah. Nick Saban, man.
Mr.
Nick
Nick Saban.
Saban. Yeah, man. Get another
Nick, what?
opportunity to beat Nick after
Exactly.
retirement. Um, so
Exactly.
hopefully Nick checks this segment out. He wants to see how his Golden Flashes are doing. It's looking grim, Nick. The opening line is minus 48 in Tennessee's favor. So
God, I think I
it's
saw that we started as minus 48 favorites.
yeah, man,
I don't know
48,
if I've
bro.
I don't know if
Dude,
I've ever seen a line that big.
I honestly I cannot remember one. So especially for Tennessee, I remember last week we were talking about how the NC State line started at 4.5 and then went to 9. And I actually forgot to talk
Yep.
about that on the review show. But talk about the easiest money of all time, dude. If you had Tennessee minus 9 going into that game, bro, you were chilling by the start of the third quarter. Um, but minus 48, yikes, bro. I mean, they just I understand why it's minus 48, but jeez, dude, like yeah, we better not be sweating at all in this game, dude. Almost 50-point favorites. I mean, like again, I get it. Like Tennessee is a lot better than the Golden Flashes, who literally just lost to an FCS school who I've never heard of in my life. Um, so yeah, man, like you said, hopefully it's a game where we just come out of it and be like, all right, we're healthy. We beat them down. Maybe we covered the spread. Maybe you want to sprinkle a little bit on Tennessee minus 48. I'm going to stay away from 48. 48 is the biggest number I've ever seen. But, stay healthy going into Oklahoma. That's what Kent State's all about.
Exactly. I mean, man, yeah, 48-point favorites. I hope we cover the spread. Are you going to be disappointed if we don't cover?
That's a good question. I think it depends on how quickly I see Gaston Moore. Like we didn't
Right.
see Nico in the third quarter of the Chattanooga game. So if I see Nico in the third quarter of Kent State, I'm gonna be a little pissed.
Something's concerning if we're seeing
Yeah,
Nico in the third quarter.
exactly. This is not a good football team. Like Kent State already, we should be in any given year. Like even if they're projected to win their conference, dude, they stink. I mean, they might go 0-12. I mean, they're terrible, and we're top 7 in the country. So let's hope we beat them. I mean, I don't have much analysis other than like outside of that, just because obviously we're more talented. Okay, I don't know much about their football team other than they just lost to an even crappier opponent. Okay, the Vegas started the spread at 48. I mean, you can't start the spread any higher, bro. What are you gonna put it at 60? Like, I mean, you can't put it any higher. So
That yeah, honestly, if Vegas put it any higher, if I was those boys at Kent State, I might look into suing Vegas. I don't know if you can
dude,
do. I don't know if you can sue an entire establishment, or sue an entire city, or whoever runs those numbers, those books over there. But that's almost a little slanderous if you're pushing over 50-point spread. I mean, dang,
listen,
they're just
man.
not even expecting them to show up into the stadium.
Yes, and I agree with everything you're saying. Now, as fans, we can do this. Now, the team can't, because dude, there's been teams that have been this kind of big favorites before and crap the bed. If you watched college football, okay, in week 2, you saw the Notre Dame Fighting Irish lose to Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois.
Or you saw
Now,
Alabama take South Florida into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Now, is South Florida and Northern Illinois better football teams than Kent State? Probably. Kent State just
Yeah,
lost to
probably.
St. Francis.
Probably.
The past couple of years, and in fact, this again, shout out to Michael. He was telling me that Kent State was known either last year or the year before that as the worst team in college football, literally ranked dead last in all of college football.
That's not good. Experts are telling me that's not great. That is not good, dude.
This just in, being the worst is in fact opposite of being good.
Yeah, or even bad. Like you can be bad,
Yeah.
but when you're dead last, dude, there's like 120 something teams in college football, maybe 130, and you're last out of 130. Like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Now
Michael.
listen,
Sorry, Nick Saban. But this is our time. It's not Kent State. Like, it's just business, brother. It's just business.
It's just business. I hope I will say this. I do hope we cover the spread, even if we do have our second stringers in there. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're losing, to St. Francis, then I hope even with our second string again. Maybe we should start our second stringers. I don't know. Let's protect our boys. Let's make sure they don't get injured.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that disrespectful or?
I mean, it's this whole podcast has been disrespectful so far. And like I said, listen. I mean, Michael might tune in. He might be ticked. Maybe he'll send it to the team and motivate them. Maybe Nick Saban will watch and it'll motivate the boys. Maybe he'll help. Maybe he'll suit up again. Maybe he'll get in the secondary. Maybe that's what they need. But I mean, I don't think that's going to save them from being 48-point underdogs. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I think we could win. I think we could win with the third stringers. I think we could win with the upcoming recruits. Again, the team can't overlook them. But geez, dude, I mean, you could take
bro,
a good.
You just said a high school team would beat this team, man.
Dude,
you said the upcoming recruits would beat them.
Bro,
Dang.
there might be some teams in Texas that could give Kent State a run for the money. I mean, the Golden Flashes don't look like they're very good this season. But you never know, bro. You never know.
Dude, what if this goes viral, right? Like, what if this goes viral? It gets to the Kent State locker room, and we are the Eric Ainge of whenever that was when he gave them bulletin board
that was
material.
Georgia, but
it was Georgia. But what if we give the Kent State Golden Flashes bulletin board material, and then they come in and only lose by 30 instead of 48? You know, like.
Well, okay. So I'm fine with giving them bulletin and board material if it promotes the podcast. Okay, if it helps get Vols fans to the podcast. Now, if we lose.
Dang.
I'm retired. Okay, if our bulletin board material results in us losing to, let's be honest, the worst team in college football by the numbers. I didn't rank them last.
The numbers, literally
by the numbers. Just look at the numbers, man. Numbers don't lie. So they're the worst. We're number 7. That seems like a pretty big discrepancy. We should win, and that's it. Just don't mess it up.
We should win, and we should probably cover the spread. I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
So let's use this as a segue. Let's talk about what we want to see. I'll go first. I want to see 70 points, minimum.
Okay.
Scored by us. I want to see 0 points maximum scored by Kent State Golden Flashes.
Okay.
And I want to see 0 injuries, and really I want to see about 2 to 5 minutes of game time for our starters. Is really what
2 to 5 minutes. I mean, it could have been 2 to 5 minutes against Chattanooga. That's the thing. Like, dude, let me just say this: if I see number 8 or number 6 on offense in the second half, I'm not going to be a happy Vol fan, bro. Just don't call me on Saturday, okay? I don't want to hear from nobody. I do not want to see our dudes in the second half. I don't. Like, they need to be on the bench getting rested because they got it. Because we all know what's coming up, okay? All Vol fans have week 4 scheduled or circled. We all know what's coming up. So, listen, you could say this is a trap game. I mean, maybe that's why Kent State lost to St. Francis. Maybe it was a trap game, bro. I don't know. But just don't lose, dog. Don't lose and don't get hurt. And preferably, like you said, 70 points, see the backups in the second half, and let's get to week 4.
Yeah, I mean, you think Kent State? They were looking at the Tennessee game on their schedule, and poor Kent State, by the way, they got Penn State right after us next week.
That's brutal, bro.
That's brutal. But you think they were looking at the Tennessee game, and then all of a sudden they looked at that St. Francis game and they said, "Oh man, we better be careful about this St. Francis game. That's a trap game right before our big game against Tennessee.
Dude, I hope not, man. I hope not. I mean,
Listen,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, I do want to just say to Kent State fans out there, when we started this podcast, we did say that the only team that we would tolerate disrespect towards was Florida, and I stand by that. So please understand that this is not meant as disrespect.
No,
This
bro.
is we're just
You're
having fun
rebuilding.
with you, right?
You're rebuilding. Okay, we've all been. Hey, dude, we were rebuilding for 20
We,
years.
oh, 100%. I mean, we know how that is.
It's fine. My only
So,
problem with what you said was fans, plural. Okay, it's
right.
Michael. That's it. It's just Michael. That's all. It's not.
Michael,
It's,
listen,
it's not fans.
he's
It's
the
Michael. That we're talking to. Sorry for the disrespect, Michael and Kent State.
he's the singular fan. He honestly might be the only fan. It's totally possible. And now, honestly, I'm gonna have to send him this podcast, and he better subscribe because he's
Oh,
essentially become the centerpiece of this episode.
exactly.
So,
And tell him
um,
to
I,
send it to Nick Saban.
yeah, he's got a direct line to old Nicholas. Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, shoot, I don't know. I mean, what else we gotta say? I mean, I do hope we cover the spread. If we lose, well, put it this way: if we give up a couple after the way this defense has been playing, if we
Yeah,
give up, if the first quarter of football that we give up, we haven't our defense hasn't given up an offensive touchdown in 12 quarters of football dating back to the bowl game last year against Iowa.
correct.
If the first TD they give up is to Kent State, then that is going to be severely disappointing. Even if we're on the third stringers by the fourth quarter, okay? I don't even want to see a garbage time TD, to be honest with you.
Okay. You just want a total
Uh,
dominant performance. I could see. I mean, that's my expectation for the game. I think that's everyone's expectation for the game. Now, again, the players can't have this mindset. You have to
Yep.
take it one game at a time. You have to go into the season. Don't overlook Kent State. As funny as that sounds, don't overlook Kent State. Um,
Yep.
you know, because you're better. You're better. Upsets happen, yeah. But like you said, I think realistically, what we're looking for is a clean performance, a cleaning up the
Yep.
penalties. Just being us. It's about us this season, man. It's so just do your thing, come out of the game clean and healthy, and get ready for that week 4 matchup. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, get just have a good, clean game, so you can, like you said, get ready for the big game that we all know that's coming up against Oklahoma in Oklahoma, right, in Norman. But I think you hit if we're gonna be serious for a couple minutes on this episode, it's gonna be, I think you hit a key point, which is the penalties, man. We've got to if there's any game to clean up your penalties, it's a home game against the worst team in college football, right?
Correct.
If you can't play, like, there's no sense in in having any penalties. You don't need to try to sneak a hold in. You don't need to commit pass interference. You don't need to have a false start. Like, when you're at home against the worst team in college football, right? Like, if there's any game to have a clean game and minimize penalties, it's this one. And so, really, that if I am being serious, I do want to see as few penalties as possible in this game.
Yeah, I agree, man. Clean up the penalties. I mean, just be smart with the players. Like, I felt like they were a little careless with Dylan Sampson even in the Chattanooga game. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like in a game like this, that's very obvious who's the more talented football team. Dylan Sampson should really only be playing a drive or two. I could understand Nico playing the whole half to keep them fresh. You don't want to get your guys out of rhythm either. But
right.
like there's certain guys that like James Pierce. Like we saw James Pierce play 10 snaps against Chattanooga. I'd expect flat against Kent State. There's no reason to put that guy out there for a game like this. But yeah, I mean, like you say, clean up the penalties, stay healthy, and let's go, man. I mean, it's a great time to be a Vol fan.
Yeah.
You know, let's get through Kent State, and then let's move on. Let's get to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully we'll see some fun, offensive numbers being thrown up, have a little bit of fun again, like we've talked about in the past. Have just a nice chill Saturday, right, where we're just cruising to a victory like we should. And you're absolutely right. Let's not risk these guys. Again, we want to, it'd be nice to get, some in-game reps are so critically important. But again, no disrespect to Kent State, but how valuable truly are these reps? Trying to play clean football,
Let's be honest though. It's been a little bit disrespectful to Kent State. Let's be honest, because we say no disrespect, but it's been pretty disrespectful.
It's kind of like when you say something to someone and you say, "Hey, look, no offense, but," and then you say the most offensive thing that you could possibly say. So okay, let's throw the facade out the window. We've been disrespectful. For that, I apologize. Michael, I'm sorry if you're watching. Please still comment. Please still subscribe. Please still like. In fact, if we'll say this, if Michael drops a comment, we will pin his comment. We'll make sure his comment's the top comment. He can say whatever he wants to say. Free reign, okay? So Michael, get on here and drop his comment, and we'll pin that bad boy. Again, sorry for the disrespect, but hey, like Austin said earlier, right? Like, we've all been there. Your program's rebuilding. We wish you good luck and Godspeed.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of pull Michael has at Kent State, but I would suggest, if he has any pull at all, like if he has a contact or something, don't schedule Tennessee and Penn State back to back. What are you doing? I mean, y'all, dude, bro, you're about to get into conference play. If you're Kent State, okay, keep those teams off your schedule, bro. And I don't know if you need the cash, if they're low on money, they're trying to rebuild some facilities, but let's stick to one of those games, and maybe week 1, or maybe, hell, even better at the end of the year. But, dude, that's just a suggestion. I wouldn't schedule those teams back to back personally, but maybe they need the money.
Yeah, they might be hard up for cash. I think that's probably the only reason those administrators would do that to those poor boys. Put them against Tennessee and Penn State. But yeah, man, I don't. And to answer your question, I don't think Michael has any pull at Kent State.
He doesn't have any pull. What?
I don't think he's got any pull. He's like I said, he started a fraternity, but I mean, that doesn't really count for much beyond that fraternity, right? I mean, absolute legend, for he's gonna kill me. I don't remember what fraternity he started, but he's gonna kill me for that. But now listen. Now we're crossing into the realm of disrespecting old Mike. So
no! That was you. I thought he did have pull at Kent. I thought he had pull.
I know. That's on me.
Hand up. That's on you. It's fine. It's fine.
That's on me. That's my bad. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, what do you think? You got anything else?
Score predictions? You want to throw out some score predictions?
Yeah, let's do some score predictions. Gosh.
Oh man. How much will we score?
I want to cover the spread. I think we're going to score minimum of 60. I don't know that we're going to drop 70. I think we're going to bring in our backups soon enough to where we're not dropping 70. So I think we're going to drop 63.
Okay. I think.
And I think they're going to score 2 field goals. So I think it'll be 63-6.
Okay. 63-6. All right. I don't hate that. I think I'm going to go 55-3. 55-3.
You think we're only going to drop 4 more points from NC State to the worst team in college football? We're going to only be able to drop 4 more points.
I thought you were done with the disrespect.
I'm not. Look, it's just
you just apologized to Michael, bro, and you just throw him under the bus again. The Golden Flashes are rebuilding, brother. It's not. Come on, man.
The numbers don't lie, man. The numbers do
Jeez.
not lie, bro.
Dude, it was a trap game. St. Francis was a trap game. We already talked about this, bro.
Okay. All right.
Golly.
So 55 to, you think 55 to 3.
55-3, man. I'm not going to disrespect
Okay.
Kent State like this.
Okay, man. Okay, man. Hey, okay. Hey, respect the Golden Flashes. 55 to 3. They're gonna hold us to 55. Um, hey, good on them. Good on them, man. Good
That's
on
a
them. They're
win.
gonna hold us to 50. Hey,
That's a
actually,
win.
let me check the numbers. I believe, they held Pittsburgh to 55, in their week 1. Let's see here.
Dude,
Yes.
you're rubbing
Yes,
salt in the wound.
They dropped 24 on Pitt, and then they held them to 55, so they only lost by 20 or by 31. They held them to 55, man. So listen, you just gave them a huge amount of respect, because you just told them, hey, bro, you're gonna hold us to 55 again, just like we did against Pitt.
Dude, if Kent State holds us to 55, and this isn't meant to be disrespectful, but throw a parade, okay? Throw a parade. It was the game of the season. I'm trying to gain Michael's favor back, man, because Michael could be a loyal listener. And 55, yes, it's low, but I'm gonna say 55-3. They're gonna get a field goal. We're not gonna put up a goose egg. I think the not giving up a touchdown streak will continue on defense. But yeah, 55-3, bro. That's a win for Kent State. Everyone wins, okay? The team that's a playoff contender wins, and then Kent State, that's a moral victory, brother.
That's a moral victory. Held us to 55. So yeah, throw a parade if you hold this offense to 55. We're saying this, and then we're not going to cover the spread. We're going to only put up like 40 points. They're going to put up like 20. We're going to beat them by 20. I mean,
this is a personal guarantee. Okay.
Personal guarantee.
Personal guarantee. If we lose to Kent State, I will never do this podcast again. And this is, I might cross my fingers saying this, but I will likely never watch another Tennessee Vols game again, ever, if we lose to Kent State.
Ooh. Dude, honestly, I hear you. That's how I felt. Well, I've felt that way about certain games in the past as well. But that's some big guarantees. So y'all heard it here first on the Vol Talk podcast. If the Tennessee Volunteers lose to Kent State, this podcast is over. Austin will never be.
Blake's going solo, people.
No, I mean, the podcast's over. You know, I mean, the whole point is two brothers talking about volunteer football. So if Austin ain't doing the podcast is over. So this podcast is dead. And honestly, it's deserved. Okay, after the amount of disrespect we put out 100%. On this podcast,
we got to
Kent State beats us, then we can't show our faces online again.
Dude, exactly. And let me do a preemptive apology to Vol Nation. If this podcast somehow leads to Kent State's victory, okay, I'm going to bury my head in the sand, and I promise I will never go to another Tennessee game again. Okay, I will literally be shunned from the Tennessee fan base because this podcast gave so much bulletin board material to the Golden Flashes
that it helped the worst team in college football beat the number 7 team in college football.
Dude, there you go again. We're trying to get back on their good side, man.
I'm just saying. Look,
it's
reword it. No, it can't be done. It can't be done. We've lost. Any Kent State viewers, except for maybe Michael, they're gone. We've lost their respect.
Right.
It's gone. It can't be salvaged. It's just the facts, bro. Okay. And again, you are right to bury your head in the sand if this podcast allows the Kent State Golden Flashes to beat the Tennessee Volunteers. So, again, folks, you heard it here first on Vol Talk. This podcast is officially over if the Tennessee Volunteers lose on Saturday. And there will probably be some personal depression that myself
that's
and
guaranteed.
Austin have to overcome. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we cover the spread. hopefully we win big. The biggest hope is, of course, that we have no injuries. So. That's all. That's all we got. It's kind of a, not a ton of analysis in this episode, but hey, that's what we got for this episode. So, thank y'all for joining us for this preview of the Tennessee Volunteers versus the Kent State Golden Flashes coming up this Saturday. So again, thanks for listening. Please subscribe, drop us a like, drop us a comment. That would be hugely helpful. Join the conversation. Let us know. Again, there's a lot of disrespect in this podcast. Michael, let us know your feelings. Okay, any other Kent State fans, let us know your feelings. We'll take it. We understand. We set ourselves up for it. So we'll take whatever you'll want to put in the comments. But thank y'all, and go Vols. We'll be looking forward to the next episode where we're going to review the game against Kent State next week, and then we'll be previewing an even bigger game against Oklahoma. So thanks for joining,
Yes,
y'all. We'll see you later. Go Vols.
GBO.